and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. And tonight we're going to be speaking about the dangers of procrastination. Now, people procrastinate in all sorts of things, from day-to-day tasks to love, friendships, career and dreams as well. And on tonight's show, we're going to be discussing the reasons why people keep waiting and putting things off and what harm this can actually cause, because sometimes it's actually more serious than some people think. So I've got lots of lovely guests tonight, which include therapist and coach Cherie Watts, and also Hollyoaks actress Abi Phillips, who plays Liberty, and she'll be telling us how she avoided procrastination and is making headway with a true dream of hers. And she's also going to be performing for us at the end of the show. And it's Monday, so as always, we have our self-development clinic with our very own Chris Brown. And I'll also be revealing how I procrastinated over something for over 20 years. Yes, I'm really ashamed of it, but I'm going to tell everyone about it because this is a show about procrastination, so I have to admit to doing it myself as well. So if you want to get in touch, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. You can also give us a call because it's a live show on 020 7686 6300. Is there something that you've procrastinated about? How did you overcome that? Or are you still kind of stuck in that situation still? Let us know. 020 7686 6300. Well, let's welcome our very first guest, and that's Cherie Watts, who's our therapist and coach. Hi, Cherie.
Hi there, good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So you're a therapist and coach.
Yes,
so how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for the last 6 years for myself, so it's been a nice business.
Lovely. So do you find that a lot of people that come to you for help, they are procrastinators?
A lot of people, yes, they are. I mean, we're all guilty of it, as you say.
Yeah.
We've all procrastinated about some things. Often it will be something quite minor, like ignoring the ironing, and it takes over the landing. But often in life, people, by the time they come to see me, are well and truly stuck, and they don't realise it's because they're in denial, they're not moving forward, they're avoiding the issue. They'll come along and say it's all about one thing. And then when you actually start to dig deeper, you'll find that actually what it's about is that they hate their job, they hate their partner, they're not happy with their life, and they want to move on and they don't know how to. So then it's identifying strengths and things.
So like you said, sometimes, you know, everyone does it to some extent, I think, when there's that kind of job that you're not looking forward to, you can't be bothered, it's sort of something that you don't really enjoy doing. So all of us tend to do it to some extent, but there's people that will really, you know, it's become a way of life for them, and it just stops them from achieving so much. And that's when sort of the unhappiness starts to come along, and like they start to feel unconfident about themselves because they're not trying to do anything, or they feel that they can't do anything, which is something really, like, it can be really serious for someone. It
can. I mean, what happens is procrastination can actually become a bad habit. You can become so much in the habit of denying yourself the opportunities to move forward that you don't see them anymore, that you actually stop looking and you think, well, this is it, this is how I'm stuck. And you become stuck in this mode of denial, and then you're afraid to look outside of it. And fear is a huge thing. You know, it immediately then becomes about, what if I fail? What if I can't? You know, and if you're only looking at what might happen as a catastrophe, if you like, you're not going to look at the potential that may come out of it at the same time.
And I always say, what if it doesn't fail? What if it doesn't go wrong? You know, because we have to look at we tend to sort of always look at the negative, don't we?
It's easy to look at the negatives.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, we do focus very much on what can go wrong, but what about if we focus on what can go right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, very simply put, you don't focus on the fact that I've had a really good day because I haven't got a cold. But if you've got a cold, you say, I've had a really horrible day because I've had a cold. And it's the same thing taken to a larger extent. You know, you don't look at the good stuff and look at how it could turn out. Well,
listen, in case people are wondering, because some people don't actually know they are procrastinators, so let's just give you a few examples. Maybe you can identify with this. So if, for example, you don't pay your bills on time a lot, all the time, you miss opportunities, for example, for buying certain things or buying tickets or going out, you're kind of always sort of thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't. For example, you file your income tax returns late. If that sounds familiar, you leave your Christmas shopping until Christmas Eve. That's a little sign, because, you know, I think that's really stressful, actually, but anyway. And so the interesting thing is, because some psychologists are actually writing about this, and they're saying that procrastinators don't actually have a problem with time management.
No.
That it's not because they don't have time, and as well, it's not because they're lazy. They just basically just leave things to the last minute, or, you know, they really think they can do things at the last minute, and then they end up getting stressed. And also, if you drink more than you intend to as well.
Yes.
Because apparently that shows that sort of you think you're in control, but then you haven't got that ability to kind of self-regulate and to sort of, you know, stop yourself or know when it's good to stop as well.
Yes.
And if you tell yourself things like this, I feel more like doing this tomorrow, I work best under pressure, but then this is okay, isn't important, it can wait till later. If you're constantly doing that as well, as I said, we all do it from time to time, but if it's constant all the time, then there's some kind of issue there. But Cherie, we've got a few videos we'd like to show you. I'm going to see them for the first time as well, about people that have procrastinated and the possible consequences of that. So let's take a look at the first one.
Barbara.
Yeah.
I am out of paper.
Oh, okay.
Have you got any more, please?
I'm sure I can see some over there.
Oh, silly of me. Very silly of me. Barbara,
Yes. What?
I have lost my staple gun.
Right. You need it now?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Here. Do you know what? I don't know. You might have to go and ask someone
Do
else.
you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm just being. It's fine. I can sort it later.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not a problem, Barbara. It's fine. It's fine.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go and make a coffee.
I would love a coffee. I'm a catch.
Hey! Right.
Oh yeah, it's you again.
Hey again, making a cup of coffee, are you?
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Oh, no, how much you like your tea.
Yeah.
So, B, I need to speak to you
All right. Okay.
about something.
Yeah. Hi, babe. You're right. You're right.
Still off tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Of course. Yeah. What time are we gonna go out?
7.
Okay.
I've booked a place at a Shoreditch restaurant, so
Wicked. Cool.
nice.
I'm really looking forward to it.
That's
Bye. Mwah. Yeah. What was it?
Ah, I've forgotten.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just, good work
All right.
on the tea.
Okay. See you.
Okay, so we have a gentleman that obviously fancies someone at work or wherever it may be, and he takes his time about asking her out. So obviously you see he was very nervous there and everything, so he missed out on opportunity because obviously someone got in there first, and that's something actually that a lot of people go through. They're just very, very shy. They're maybe not confident about themselves, or they think they're going to be rejected, and they lose out on opportunity and someone else gets in there first.
Yeah. Fear is a terrible thing. It can make you so inhibited, and it can ruin your life because you are missing opportunities. I mean, all it would have taken is to sit down and offer to make her a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. What do you like? Or would you like to go out for one after work? It's not a major commitment that you're asking her to make to. It's just actually let's go outside of work and have a chat. And to be so fearful that you can't do that, you're immediately thinking about, well, is she going to reject me? What if she says no? But what's the worst thing that could happen? She'll say no, and then you're still working together. You're just still sitting back to back.
Yeah.
There's no change in the work setup. So the people there are actually allowing their fear to take control of them. And the only way you can let go of that fear is to face it, is actually to stand up to it. Because 9 out of 10 times, nothing happens to the negative. It will always be a positive that comes out of it. It might be, no, I don't want to go out for your coffee at the moment, but we're going out at the weekend, a crowd of us, why don't you come? So there's always something that will come out of it. If someone doesn't know you're interested, how are they going to know you're there?
Exactly. I mean, this fear thing is a big factor because obviously that was just an example of someone liking someone, but people miss out on a lot of opportunities because of fear and because they
Yeah.
think, what if I look stupid? What if it all goes wrong? But the thing is, I think if you really want to get somewhere and you really want to maybe get somewhere big, you have to face the fact that sometimes you are going to look silly and you are going to look, people may talk about you or something, but that doesn't last long. It's like what you get at the end of it when you actually keep trying to do something is something so much better, and you do gain confidence once you start achieving things. But if sort of the first knockback you get, that's it, you're shy, you can't do anything else, you're just going to retreat and go back in your shell, you're not going to achieve anything. And that's when people start to fall down and unhappy and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter. So what if someone laughs? So what if someone says no, or they talk about you for a bit? So what? Carry on.
Well, we're all guilty of what it's called mind reading, and that we all think we know what the other person's going to be thinking.
Yeah.
So immediately, if you're in a situation of fear, you're thinking, they won't like me, they're going to say no, they're going to reject me. But how do you know that if you haven't actually faced up to these people and said, hello, I'm here? They're not in a position to be able to do any of that. They may not even realise you're there.
It's true.
So it's stop mind reading and actually just start talking to people.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. Well, let's take a look at the second video as well then.
Johnny! How you doing, mate? Yeah, last night was good. Really good. I was literally crawling home. I got on the bus, right? Yeah, I pulled that bird. That bird. Seriously, 20 Jaeger bombs later.
Kenzie, who are you talking to?
Just the head of Kenring.
Head of Kenring. Right, what are you talking to him about?
There's another contract coming.
Another contract?
Yeah.
Right, what's the price of this contract?
He says
10 Jaeger bombs? 20 Jaeger bombs?
He says 400,000.
400,000 Jaeger bombs. Is that the price, is it?
I've just got to sort out the clauses at the end of the contract.
Okay, Kenzie, this has been done, okay? This has been sorted and this has been sorted and the prices have been agreed, okay?
Yeah.
All I need you to do is just send me an email.
No, I'll
okay?
ring them.
No, don't ring them, Kenzie. Email. Okay?
Yeah, no, of course.
Very good, thank you.
Kenzie,
Yeah.
could you explain something to me?
Well,
Why have I just attempted to call the people over at Shindig and have they just said to me, they haven't had the email from you yet?
I sent the email, but the office is closed.
The office is closed.
Yeah, about to close, so I'll send it.
It was about to close.
I'll send it now.
Kenzie, how many warnings you had?
It's my,
Final warning, isn't it, Kenzie?
yeah.
You have one email to send, Kenzie. That was it.
I'll send it-
One
I'll send it tomorrow
email.
morning.
No,
Tomorrow.
no, you won't. Do you know why? Because you're fired, Kenzie. So pack your desk up and go home. Okay?
One more chance.
No. You've had your
I'll
chance.
send the
Kenzie.
email tomorrow morning.
Kenzie, it was one email. You couldn't even do that.
Alright.
Go home now. Kenzie, home.
Now, I think we've all had that sort of task. Obviously, that was an exaggerated situation, but we've all had that kind of task that just the thought of actually facing it and doing it, it's really hard because we think, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to that person, or especially in a workplace. And the thing is, we can end up again losing opportunities. Say, for example, this guy that we just saw, he wasn't lazy or he's a hard worker, but that particular task he kept putting off, obviously that's going to lead to problems in the workplace, as we saw. Well, he got fired.
Yes, indeed, big problem.
It is, but you know, what do you think? Do you come across people then that maybe procrastinate in workplace as well?
Workplace procrastination is terrible. If you're really deeply unhappy in your job, the first thing you need to be doing is getting your CV out there and looking around for something else. Or actually chatting with management and saying, I don't feel I'm being fulfilled, what else can I do? Or coming up with ideas. There's loads of different ways that you can actually start to move forward. What else could you do to make your job more interesting? You know, can you take on more? Can you actually show them that you can do more? there's an opportunity there that you can say, well, actually, I'm pretty good. You just left me doing this small task here, but I could do more. Let me do more. Let me show you what I'm capable of. Because then you'll get fired up about your job. Your employers will become fired up about you. And the worst thing that can happen is they'll say to you, no, carry on doing that job there, and you put your CV out anyway.
Now, also, the worst thing about procrastination at work as well is that it frustrates other people around you. So you've got that, then it starts to like affect relationships and stuff. But we're going to talk more about this after the break, because we're going to go to a quick break, and afterwards you're going to stay with us, Cherie.
Okay.
Because afterwards we also have the lovely actress and singer Abi Phillips, who's going to be telling us all about her plans for her singing and how she's actually, you know, fulfilling her dreams. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, where we're speaking all about the effects of procrastination. As I said, we all do it to some extent, but it becomes a real problem when it happens over and over again because we miss opportunities. So we're speaking to Cherie before the break, and now also joining us, we have the lovely Abi Phillips. Hi, Abi.
Hi.
So lovely to see you here.
Nice to see you too.
So you're, how old, can I ask how old you are?
I'm 19, well, just turned 19.
Just turned 19, but already you're really going for your goals and everything, aren't you?
Yeah, well, trying. It's a long road. It takes time, but yeah.
So when did you realise that you wanted to do singing and acting?
Well, I started wanting to be a singer from quite a young age because all my family are musical. Like my granddad's a jazz pianist, and my dad plays the guitar and my mum sings, and most of my family play an instrument, so I was kind of just musical anyway. And then I started wanting to just perform, which like includes like acting as well. So from quite a young age. So.
And how did you get the part in Hollyoaks?
Well, I finished school and I signed up to do a college course which got cancelled, but so I had nothing to do at all. And my manager just said to me, Hollyoaks are looking for some songs if you want to write. And I was like, oh, okay. So I watched the show for about, I think it was about 2 months, and I was literally like doing nothing. I had nothing to do. I just felt really, really rubbish. So I started watching the show, and I saw this really nice storyline. Well, it was sad, but it was good. And it was about this girl who was like dying of cancer. And I had a family member a few years ago that died of an illness. So I took inspiration from that and wrote a song based on an experience that happened to me.
Right, okay.
And then I sent it in, and then they liked it, and then they asked for more material. And I sent some more in, and they said that they wanted to make a musical part for the show.
Oh,
and
that's
would I like to go in an audition? So that's how it happened.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it's interesting what you said there, that you know you were at home for however long, a couple of months you said,
Yeah,
and you
couple
felt
of
like
months.
rubbish. Now a lot of people, Cherie, they go through that, don't they?
Yes,
They're not sure what they're doing yet. They're maybe looking for work, for example, looking to break into like a career like you were.
I was like,
But a lot of people don't move on from that, do they? They just get really down, and they just don't feel like, they just lose their confidence completely.
I think it was brilliant that you're using events in your life to enhance what you're doing. You want as a career. You know, you're already using the strengths that you've got, and your strengths are actually using your emotions to write and to put that feeling out there. And if you can share that with others, that's fabulous.
when it's genuine, you can tell.
Yes.
You know, the lyrics come better. So.
Were you ever afraid of failing? Because I know this is something we're talking about, you know, procrastination and everything, and like a lot of things that people that do procrastinate, they're like afraid of. Sometimes they're afraid of success. Actually, not only success or failure, they're actually afraid of, what if I do make it big? Am I going to be able to handle like all the attention? Am I going to be able to handle, you know, people knowing who I am everywhere? So there's that side of things as well. Have you ever sort of felt afraid of failure and or success?
Well, when I first started singing, I couldn't even look at the audience. I had to put my back to the audience. So that's one. And then I suppose it's hard to move on from things. Like I've been at Hollyoaks for 2 years, and I really, really what I want to do is music, but it's hard to try and, just in case, because it could go one way or the other. It could be like I could go big or I could go down, because I haven't done any A-levels or anything. I could become, it's either like be a singer or be a lollipop lady. Like, I don't, you have no idea. Well, you don't know where it's going to go. It's you've got to take risks sometimes. And
This is the thing, isn't it?
It's risks, isn't it? It's all
Definitely.
about taking the risk. If you've got to be prepared to take risks to actually have a life, to be able to go out there and do what you want in life. And you know, you've already had an opportunity to be acting, which was something that you wasn't expecting. It's just given you a whole new path that's available to you at any time, because you don't have to say, well, I'm not going to act for a few years and then go back to it. You can step back in and out of these. You can actually make them run in tandem, which is brilliant.
Because in a way, it's kind of like, that was me like going to uni. Because like people go to uni to study acting, but I just went straight into it. But I learned off the people that went to uni, so I'm kind of, well, I'm still learning now, but yeah.
One thing I found interesting what you said is always like you couldn't look at a camera or anything like that. And this is a point, sometimes because of this feeling like this, a lot of people will give up at that stage and say, you know what, I can't face this, not knowing that everyone goes through it, or most people that are human, they go through those emotions and they think, oh, maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, maybe I'm not cut out for this because I'm the only one that gets nervous and no one else feels this way. But look, we've got an example here of someone that's on TV, right, but that was scared of cameras before, like you couldn't look in the cameras.
When I first went on, I mean, because I hadn't had any experience, so I wasn't that great when I first started. And I had a lot of horrible comments, like off the public, and that was really, really hard. And you've just got to ignore it. You just can't read it, because not everyone's going to like you. So it's you've just got to get over it, and you've got to be like, well, whatever, you're the one behind your keyboard. Like, so
it's true, that's a big point.
The negativity is often people's jealousy, because they'll see someone who's going out there and grabbing life and saying, this is what I want and I'm going to go for it, and they're sitting there thinking, well, I'm stuck here in this job and I hate it. How dare she?
It's very easy to, like you said, Abby, just to sit behind a screen and just type horrible things to people. It's very, very easy to do that. What's difficult and what's challenging and what's brave to do is actually to go out there and try something at least. And we do, any time that a person will try and succeed in something, any time you will try at home, maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, I'm not sure, but be prepared, because if you really want to go for your dreams, you will always face criticism. You're always going to have people that are jealous, that don't want you to succeed. But at the same time, like you said, you just have to forget about those people and just do what you want to do with your life, because there will also be those that support you. Like, you've got a lovely family, right? They're always behind you. They're supporting you. They're lovely. I met them before. They're over there. So they're doing. So it's a normal thing to happen. So it's not something I should stop. But with your singing, what are your plans now? What's happening with that?
Well, I mean, the main thing is I've got to try and make the transition from being Liberty to being,
which is your character in Hollyoaks.
So because people get confused and think that Liberty the singer is my character, whereas the character was based on me. So I'm the singer, but. It's hard to try and get your music out there, because there's so many like talent shows and stuff that radio only really put those ones forward, so it's hard to break into radio, which is where everybody hears all the new stuff, and then that's how you discover new artists, and that's where all the interest comes from. So it's hard, but when you get it, it's good.
But you're determined, aren't you? So what are the plans then for the future with your singing?
So I think I'm writing with a guy called Rob Davis, and he's written with some of really, really big stars like Kylie Minogue and stuff like that.
That's exciting.
So I'm writing with him. And then I'll probably release a single and then see where that goes.
And you're going to be singing for us as well, aren't you? What's the title of the song you'll be singing?
I'm going to be singing a song called On My Way, which I wrote, and as well for Hollyoaks. I wrote a song for Hollyoaks called On My Way.
And Dad's going to join us as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he plays the guitar as well and everything. Okay. So let's before we're going to go to a break shortly, but let's just take a look at this other video, because I'd like to get your take on it, Abby, as well. So let's take a look.
Babes, there you are. Where have you been? Where did you go for lunch? Oh.
I went out with some friends for lunch.
Oh, I was waiting for you.
Wow, I went out with my friends. You know I go out with my friends for lunch.
So, are you going to be back tonight before 6, 7? Later?
No, I don't know. I'm going out with my friends after work, and then I don't know
Alright.
what time. I'll text you when I get home.
So I'll just see you at work again tomorrow.
Look, just stop. Why are you making it into a huge issue?
Making it
I
into
don't
a
know what
huge
the
issue.
problem is.
What about me?
I might have friends to go to tonight.
Yeah, but I've barely seen you today.
No, Gabby's asked me out, and I might go out with her.
All right, then we'll go out with Gabby then.
Look, we can't be together all the time. It's not healthy. It's not right.
What do you mean it's not right? I just want to see you. I just want to go to lunch with
Yeah,
you.
but we work together. Most couples don't work together. And we can't go to lunch together, then
but-
work together, then go home together. It's too much.
Yeah, but we don't go
It's
home
too
together, do we?
much.
I get home a whole 2 hours before you.
Yes,
By the time you
whole
get
2
back,
hours,
I'm ready
but
for bed.
you do. I do always
Well,
have an issue with
when was
it.
the last time we
Why?
went out? When was the last time we didn't see each other at work?
Questions.
All right,
Just
Amy.
right now.
I'm sorry. So I'll see you tomorrow then. Tomorrow morning at work.
Look, you're just making me more stressed out. I've got so much work to do.
Listen,
You're just always on my
It's yours.
back. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow at work then. Because I won't see you at home, will I?
Yeah, but look, I'll be home later on, but I'll
Right.
text you.
That seemed like quite an intense argument.
I
You're
know.
right.
Do you know what? It's just so clingy at the moment. I just
Yeah.
don't understand it. It's too much for me. It's like pressure, pressure, pressure. You always want to be with me.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it though? You need to do something.
I don't know, but I don't know. I just need to. I think I need some space from him. I think it's not right for me.
All right,
It's not working.
Do you reckon you'll split up with him then?
I want to. I've wanted it for ages, but I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to go about it.
Well, I really think that you should just, maybe you should just need to sort of do it. Do you know what I mean? You can't, there's like no time like the present. It's just going to drag it out for you and for him, so
Yeah,
I think you need to do it.
I need to.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I will. Yeah, all right, cool. I'll speak to you later. Okay then, all right, bye. What's wrong? Are you all right? You look really tired.
Do you know what? You're never going to believe what?
What?
I'm pregnant.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh. What? I don't know what
Can't
to
believe
say.
it.
What are you going to do?
Left it too long, didn't I?
So a huge thing people procrastinate in is relationships. They feel that they're in the wrong relationship, but they don't have that strength, that thing to break it off. Anyone been in that situation? Oh, you don't have to talk about it now, don't worry. It's a live show, don't want to get into that. But it's a big thing, isn't it? Like sort of dragging out relationships. What do you think, Abi?
I just think if you don't like them anymore, it's unfair on the person to keep things going. It's just a bit cruel.
But people do it, don't they? Because maybe they're like, oh my gosh, how's the person going to react? Sometimes they're scared as well of the person, depending on what kind of relationship. If it's like quite abusive or something like that, they're scared to kind of break it off.
People can be quite fearful of being alone as well, actually going out there and starting again, especially if
Yeah.
they've been in a relationship for a long time. But if you're in a relationship which is basically toxic, there's no joy to come out of it for anybody involved. And I did work with someone once who was in marriage guidance, and they said that if one person in a relationship doesn't want to be there, there's no relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard fact. If you're at a point in your life when you no longer love that person or no longer want to be there, then the only thing that's fair on anybody is to tough up and say, you know, this is the end if you really feel that way. If you think sitting down and actually having a conversation, maybe going to someone like marriage guidance is the way to go. But if you're really fixed on the fact that I don't like them, then there's not much wiggle room.
Because I really do believe like that, you know, because I had terrible problems in my relationship, but I had counselling and everything, and we worked things out, and I'm happily married today. But I know obviously there's some situations where, you know, it is best to break up because it's not going anywhere, but people drag it out, and then they're sort of missing the opportunity of meeting someone that's really going to make them happy.
Or they do, and then they end up cheating. And then it's
another
thing
involved. Definitely.
I mean, I do see people quite often, and they've been in an unhappy relationship for a very, very long time. And all that happens is in the end that they barely speak, they barely have any contact with one another. They just kind of exist together, making each other unhappy, which is
it's
because no one has the courage to step aside.
It's not a good situation for anyone. But now let's go, just ask you one more question, Abi, because I know you're going to come back on and sing for us afterwards.
Yes.
What would you say to maybe people, and it doesn't matter their age, young people, older people, more mature people, that say, you know, I really have this dream, I'd love to, for example, do what you're doing, or I'd love to do something with my life that I've always wanted to do, but just don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I don't know if I've got what it takes. What would you say to them?
I just say just go for it, because you're not going to lose anything by going for something because you don't have it yet. It's like, You just need to take risks, otherwise you're never going to get where you want to be, so then you're going to be miserable anyway. And then I'd rather think, oh, why did I do that, than I wish I would have done that.
Yeah.
So you just need to...
I agree, because I really think a life of regrets is worse than a life of trying stuff and then not doing very well, but at least you tried.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to have that thing. Imagine there sort of your last days thinking, oh, I should have done that, I should have done, oh, why didn't I try that, or maybe that would have worked out. That's
Could have been
a horrible
minted
way
now.
to live, isn't it? Yeah. It's a horrible way to live. But you're obviously going for your dreams, which is great, so I wish you all the best with everything. And, we're following you, making sure,
Oh, good.
rooting for you and everything, yeah?
Thanks.
All right, so Cherie, thank you so much for joining us
nice to
and
be
for
here.
all your advice. Abby, we'll see you afterwards. And after the break as well, we're going to be having our self-development clinic with Chris Brown, and he'll also be giving us his take on procrastination. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. And now joining me, I have Chris Brown.
Hi,
Hello.
Chrissy. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm glad to be back.
Yes, I
Let's put it that
know.
way.
We missed you for a while, didn't we?
Missed you guys as
All
well,
right.
honestly.
Let me tell the viewers first of all, before we
Sure.
get into our part, what I didn't do for 21 years. It's a bit embarrassing because this is something that a lot of people do, no problem. But for me, I got my driving license when I was 17, and only like last December I actually started driving. Now, it was always on the back of my mind, like, I need to start driving, I need to drive. But I ended up kind of, the more I left it, the more afraid I was to actually get in a car and start driving. Even though I had my license, I passed everything, it's fine. But I let that fear basically take over, and it was silly, it's so silly. And I ended up sort of depending on my husband all the time. Like if I needed to go anywhere, he's the one that had to drive me to places and stuff, or I'd take public transport. And it was like recently a friend said to me, listen, how long are you going to let fear stop you from doing this thing? It's something so simple. So many people drive. Why are you letting fear overtake you? So I thought, you know what, it's true. So I immediately, because I drive to Bristol, go to Bristol like 3 times a week. So I just got in a car and my husband next to me, and I just started driving. Straight on the motorway. I knew I had to jump in straight at the deep end to do it. And the thing is, it's something so silly and it took me so long, but I actually love it now. And for a lot of people say, what's the big deal about driving? But for me, it was a big deal. And I did let sort of that thing stop me from doing it. But the thing is, the confidence it's given me, I feel so proud of myself now. So it's really like boosted my confidence just for doing that. So, like I said, it's embarrassing to admit this on TV because lots of people drive. But for me, it was a big deal.
Of course, I mean, at the end of the day, you just said it was that procrastination. And most time, procrastination is a matter of thinking of what will go wrong instead, or we delay it. But you did it, you achieved it.
After 21 years.
It's still great.
I got there in the end, that's the main thing, isn't
It's great, you achieved it.
Yeah.
And out of that comes confidence, which is what I'm about to talk about actually. Confidence and personal growth at the end of the day. Now, that driving in itself, obviously there was a mind block before, but you knew you had to do it. But I mean, on the motorway.
It was on my mind for so long.
Hey.
Yeah, but I had to, motorway or like, might as well just jump in and do it.
All the other ways. Forget the little roads on the side. Let's do the motorway instead first time. But that's brilliant anyway. Well done to you. Well done to you. Well done to you. Confidence.
Yes.
Personal growth. Think about this. Many people, there are 2 great days in their life, right? Could you think of any, particularly if you say about anybody in general, what would be the 2 greatest days in their life?
In general or for me?
Let's do a bit of both. Go on.
All right. Well, obviously I have to say my wedding day.
Ah, that's great.
But another great day for me was when I, because you guys at home know how depressed, I talk about, being depressed and having my panic attacks and stuff all those years. It was the day that I found out that I could actually get help for my problem.
Okay.
That was a huge thing for me. And I was going through all those problems, but just to hear, look, you can get help for this. This is beatable. Right. That just like, oh my gosh, I can actually be happy. So that really
because you had an opening there and you knew you could start to live life.
Yeah.
Right? And in living life, you knew that you could live the purpose that you wanted to live. So the 2 great days people generally, which they don't think about, is subconscious. One is the day you were born. Second one.
I don't know that one.
Oh yeah, you know, later on you look back and you think, hey, I was born, right? And the second one is when you find out what your purpose is at the end of the day. And in saying that, there's a lot of blockages why we don't find our actual purpose, which cause frustration, delay, depression, different areas. People end up meandering through life at the end of the day. We're talking about confidence as well. That actually disrupts it as well. You're not actually knowing your purpose, your direction in where you're going. So we're talking about the day we're born and the purpose of your life. And once you found that out, you're on the right track already. Now, the thing about it is we're actually born confident. We're actually born confident from babies. Straight away, you think a child, she gets up or he gets up, starts walking around, falls down.
That's
what
so
do they
true,
do?
actually,
They just get back up. A child would walk up to you and ask you any question that they want to know about and they will learn. Right, an adult will want to know the question, but our pride and ego thinks, well, you know, I don't want everybody to know I don't know, so I'm not going to ask you.
Don't look stupid.
Exactly, you know. And this sort of thing of confidence, we've had it from a young age. But sometimes, unfortunately, there's delays along the way. Circumstances, situations that happen to us, or parenting, poor parenting as well, that delays us and stunts that confidence, and it gets stolen from back then. That gets stolen, we got a lot of dreams, things we want to achieve, but we're afraid to actually step out there and do them. But the reality of it is, all this is no longer existing in your life, but you tend to go in your mind and think, well, I can't do this because of that. I can't do this because of that. You was talking about the driving in one. That's a prime example as well. I won't do it because of this, that, and the other. You got situations of somebody who is just naturally confident, and let's say poor parenting. Father, mother, always, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't say anything, sit still, da-da-da-da-da. That's gone. Later on in life, they're still in that kind of mode in their mind, still thinking, I can't do this, I can't say that,
That's a big deal, actually, the parenting as well.
Yeah.
Because, for example, someone like Abi, she's obviously had good guidance and like she gets encouragement from her parents. But there are those that they don't have that, or they're put down constantly and told, look, you're not going to be able to achieve this, or you're stupid. Parents that call their kids stupid and stuff like that. That stays with them for years. Even in adulthood, they just don't have the confidence, because my parents, even though they don't think, oh, it's because my parents said it, but it's there ingrained in their mind because of all the stuff they heard when they were younger.
Negative words, a lot of negative words that just, they start being self-fulfilling prophecies at the end of the day. They start to believe it, and they start looking at others who are moving along, achieving their dreams, and feel even lesser. So we've got to get to that point where we realise, well, look, that was then, this is now, and that's the future. And that's what I've got to go for. The two things, you cannot control the past. It happened. I'm not saying don't deal with it, but you only control the present and the future. You've actually got to let go of the past and move on. Your confidence is going to come from knowing your qualities, your skills, your abilities, what you're good at, what you should be doing, and where you're going to place yourself to actually expel those confident attributes that you actually have. And it's funny, I always mention this, I mentioned it before, one of the blessings is to get up on a Monday morning and get paid for something you enjoy doing, which I always mention, right? Now, that could be in your career, that could be a field, your love life, everything. Take it which way you like. But once you know in who you are, what your skills are, what you've got to give overall. And life has a way. You give, you're going to receive a lot more. It just comes back at you anyway. So this blockage of confidence and inferiority complex has to be removed so you can actually release that potential along the way. Right? Now, another area I was going to go into is finding out, one, who you are, which I touched on just now. I would actually say, get a piece of paper, write down all the good sides about yourself, all the good qualities, all the good skills that you've got. Start thinking about it from there. Look at it each day. See what you've got inside of you, what you've got to give. Not what you haven't got. Not what somebody else has that, oh, I'm not like them, I can't do this. That's a big thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a terrible thing, comparing yourself to somebody. No. And through life, you're always going to find somebody to compare yourself to. Yeah, you just got to be you at the end of the day. Not everybody's going to love you. Not everybody's going to like you. You've got to be you. And there's a lot of people who's going to love you for being you. That's the main thing, you know, instead of being pretentious and pretending you're not.
And those are people that matter at the end of the day. Who cares about the ones that don't like
you? Exactly, exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Don't like me.
Well, and the other one as well is you've got to get to that point of, which I really love this side, designing your life. Designing your own life. Back to the same thing, piece of paper, write down what you really want. The life that you'd really like, and stop. When you do this, get outside that limit in your head. All right? Get outside of the box and stop thinking, well, if I do this, then this will happen and that will happen this way. Oh, I can't because I can't afford it. Forget it. Just write down exactly the life you want and start focusing on it each and every day. Start working towards it. So basically, it's like designing your life. Always remember, a great speaker, his name was Jim Rohn, sadly passed away. And before he actually made it, he was talking about where he wanted to build his house. And he went and he took his friends out there on the field and everything. Nothing there, just rubble and all that. Took them inside the house, and this is where I'm going to have my TV.
Nice.
This is where, and he says they actually bumped their elbows on their fireplace and things like that, you know, because he actually believed it, and it becomes a reality. So if you're determined, you can actually design your own life the way you want it. So I'd say to everybody right now, get a piece of pen and paper and go away and do that. Not now, this moment, but after.
Yeah, because
right?
you're still going to watch Abi.
Yeah, we've got to watch Abi after, and then
Sing
after
in.
you can do that, right? Okay. Right. Now, the other one is reflection. Reflection to actually grow. Now, to actually reflect, you've got to, sometimes we get so busy with life that it seems as if it gets in the way. But sometimes you've actually got to stop and just reflect and start thinking about where you are at this present moment so that you can actually have a platform to take off as well. Sometimes we get so busy saying that we're busy, not really achieving anything, doing anything, being busy. So sometimes we've got to stop.
Busy complaining about everything.
Busy complaining about nothing happening at the same time, and you get pretty weird out by then. So you've got to stop, reflect on what you're doing, realise direction you're going and start to go for it.
Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, you agree with that?
Definitely agree with it.
Oh,
Chris,
great,
thank you
great.
so much.
You're very much
welcome. So we're just
welcome.
going to go to Abi in just a second. But you know what? I think procrastination, for example, has a lot to do with living subject to your feelings. So you don't have to wait till you feel like doing something before you do it. Because feelings actually get people into a lot of trouble. Imagine if you did everything that you felt like every day. So for example, I don't feel like going to work today, or I feel like hitting my boss today because he got on my nerves or she got on my nerves. Imagine if you actually did these things, you're going to cause so many problems for yourself. So it also works in the opposite way. So there are many times, you know, that you don't feel like doing certain things that you should do. For example, I really need to maybe make amends with a certain person, but I don't feel like doing it. I really need to go and look for a new job, but I don't feel like doing it today. Do you know what? Maybe you're never going to feel like it, but the fact is there's certain things that you do actually have to go and do, because if you don't do those things, you're not going to be happy. So don't wait till you feel like actually doing something. Do it anyway. And when you start seeing the results and you see how great, you know, how things work out for you, then you're going to feel really happy. So,
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
But on that note, let's go to Abi now, because I can't wait to hear her singing. So this is Abi Phillips, and she's going to be singing with her lovely father. So let's go to this.
Hope you remember my face, 'cause I am gone, I'm moving on. I find it hard to retrace our first time, our first place. But every road that you walk leads away from my home. You're gonna have to walk it alone, because I'm shutting the door, turning a page. I never want to see your face again. I'm on my way, yeah. I gotta be strong, coming of age. Forget about yesterday, 'cause I am on my way to higher ground. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now I can stand on my own. I can't look back. 'cause I'm shutting the door, turning the page. I never want to see your face again. I'm on my way, yeah. I gotta be strong, coming of age. Forget about yesterday, 'cause I am on my way to higher ground. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm on my way. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm on my way. Shutting the door, turning a page. I gotta be strong, coming of age. Shutting the door, turning a page. I'm on my way.
That? Yeah. What were you up to? You want to come out or something like that?
Yeah.
What? It's okay. I'm being really rude and annoying, aren't I? I don't even like me.
So have you been here before?
Sorry, he's making me laugh at being so revolted by my behaviour. I've just got all the oil everywhere.
Oh, so there is oil in it then, isn't there?